Hello and welcome back to Grenada. It's not so sunny today. I'm actually filming up in Granatang, which is one of Grenada's most mountainous areas. Not the most mountainous. I think Mount St. Catherine is actually the highest. But yeah, it's about 11 o'clock in the afternoon and I needed somewhere to film where it wasn't going to be baking hot. And yeah, I'm actually cold in Grenada, which is nice. I will not complain. So I'm just jumping on as the video that I filmed a couple of weeks ago, talking about how life in Grenada isn't necessarily for everyone, seemed to have got a lot of people talking. It's got a number of views, which I'm super grateful for, but I just wanted to quickly jump on and say hi and introduce another side of life in Grenada. A lot of you are kind of saying, do you only live in town? There's more to Grenada than Granite's Beach and walking around your neck of the woods in Fort Judy. So yeah, hopefully you can see some of the lush scenery behind me. Still figuring out how to use this tripod, which is something that we'll discuss in a little bit more detail. But yeah, life in Grenada is pretty sweet, in my opinion. But one of the things that I wanted to really talk about is that with the Exodus Collective, the whole point is really to share the story of what it looks like. Actually, walking on a road is not a good idea. Fancy seeing you here.
Are you good?
I'm good. You?
You good?
Yeah, I wanted to send you the website. Huh?
Hugging?
Oh, I'm good. I'm back.
That's
Yeah,
what
I'm
I'm saying.
negative. How are you doing?
I love you. I'm good.
Good. Busy.
This is what I do.
I can tell.
About to take him down there.
All right.
So terrified.
Sweet.
You don't know how much work I had to do to get into this.
And here it goes. I'll be in touch. So here we are walking down to Granatang Lake. There's a cluster of tourists behind me. You can probably hear some engines in the background, but this is just such a peaceful, amazing place. It has a certain energy about it. It's hard to put into words, but if I just step out, oh no, I can't step out because it's tracking my face. But maybe if I shut up for a little bit, and you just hear there's not much. Wind in the trees, some insects creaking, some frogs, whatever. It's an awesome place to be. So yeah, this is just another side to Grenada. We've got some bamboos creaking as we go along. So yeah, there's so much more to the beach, to the obvious place. I mean, to be honest, Granatang is one of the most obvious places out there in Grenada, but it does have a different vibe. And yeah, this lush greenery, I think, is one of the things that keeps me happy here. But the video that I did talking about life in Grenada, what's it like moving to Grenada, is Grenada for everyone? It's got a few people talking, a few people kind of irritated, say, how dare you say Grenada isn't for everyone? I guess there's no winning really. If I say Grenada's for everyone, I'm opening up too many tourists. If I say it's not for everyone, that's exclusionary. I mean, I'm just one random person. Hopefully you will ignore what I say and make your own minds up as to what you think about Grenada. And all of you who have taken your time to comment, I really appreciate it. You don't need to necessarily take your time to pen a response, but I do appreciate hearing your perspectives, hearing your opinions, and I do listen. So a few of you have said, get out of St. George's. Here I am, out of St. George's. I am in St. Andrews, the beautiful parish of St. Andrews, where my dad's side of the family, hail from. And yeah, thanks for the tip. It is nice to be out. It's chilled, it's beautiful, it's lovely. I feel like I'm the only person here, which is unusual. But one of the things I just wanted to throw out there is that when a friend and I first started the Exodus Collective, it was really just supposed to be about storytelling. What does it look like for people of colour to move to the Caribbean? Generally, one of the narratives about the Caribbean is very much that it's for jet setters, it's for people with loads of money, it's for like the rich and the famous. And we really just wanted to shift that because I think the Caribbean, especially for those of us of Caribbean descent, understanding that there are ways to come back if you want to, understanding that life can be good if you have the right mindset, if you put in the planning. It's something that we definitely wanted to throw out there, and it definitely feels like, we're not saying anything new. I think a lot of people knew it, but it's just nice for almost 2 years to have repeatedly told that story, whether it's people moving from the UK to Jamaica, or moving to Belize, or moving wherever in the Caribbean. It's been really great to share that story. And one of the things that I feel quite passionate about is that, okay, for those of you who are born and bred here, you might completely disagree with me, but the Caribbean is small. Like, it's a small region, something like 20 million people. That's the size of Mexico City. It's not huge. So the idea that we're just going to be about one island, this island is best, all other islands are trash, like that's just not me. I can't really, I can't really subscribe to that kind of point of view, which is why it's been great to share stories of people moving to different islands. But the fact is that I am in Grenada. I love Grenada. I'm not really planning on being anywhere else other than Grenada for the foreseeable future. So yeah, what does that mean for the sorts of content that I share? When we first started, I really didn't want to be on video. Like, I'm a journalist by training. What I do is words. I write, I interview people, I tell stories, but being in front of the camera really is not like my thing in the slightest. I'm quite a shy person. I'm quite an introvert. I'm exceptionally private. You might not believe any of that, but these are the things that I've done in order to just get this story out here. I'm going to see if I can turn around and you can get the beauty of the scenery behind me, because I'm just about to step onto the lake. I really am the only person here, which is weird. It's very weird. Okay, camera, follow me. Follow me. Sorry guys for the technical issues. So yeah, this is Granatang Lake, and Granatang actually means great big lake in French, and this is where we are on the big lake. Let me see. I can't get out of the shot, guys. I really wish I could, because the background is much more interesting than me. But yes, going back to what I was saying, yeah, the whole platform really wasn't supposed to be about me sharing my opinions on Grenada. Grenada is an island of 110 plus thousand people, even more in the diaspora. And now that I'm here, like, I don't want to be jumping on the camera just sharing my opinions. I think that's super uninteresting. I appreciate you guys for having patience up until now with my perspectives, but what I really want to do is to be able to tell the stories of the amazing people who are already here, of the amazing places that you can experience, of the experiences themselves. Like, there's so much to this island, and I would love to be able to share that with you, because, I mean, as I say, I'm a journalist, I do storytelling, and I think there are far more interesting people here than me. So if that's something that you'll be interested in, let me know in the comments. Again, doing it sensitively. I'm aware that, yes, we want Grenada to the world, but there's sides of Grenada that we want to keep secret. So how do we make that happen? I don't know, but I'm going to try. If you've got any suggestions, definitely let me know in the comments. But yeah, vlogging is cool. I kind of do it because I'm a working mum. I've got 3 young kids, and it's really easy to just jump on the camera, shoot something really quick without having to edit. But to be able to take it to the next stage, I think there are so many talented creatives here on the island that I would love to be able to collaborate with. I've been speaking to some young filmmakers who are awesome, and it will be lovely to kind of give them a platform where they can show their artwork, their craft, their talent with the world, while also showcasing Grenada. But obviously that sort of thing requires a budget, and I'm not going to ask any of you to put your hands in your pockets to pay for it. But one way that you can help is by subscribing and turning on notifications, because the more of you who subscribe and turn on notifications and watch, the more money that comes into the channel through advertising revenue, and that money can then be used to pay creatives. I'm very much about the circular economy, as I say, I'm a journalist. I've been a journalist for the past 20 plus years. The Guardian, Rolling Stone, New Internationalist, The Times. So I don't really need the exposure myself. But to be able to use this platform, to use this audience to highlight people who do deserve attention, people who do need support, I think is something that can be really, really exciting. Like the people who don't necessarily get in the spotlight, the people who might not necessarily be the right political colour or the right social class or whatever. The barriers to people being able to tell their story and get support are, I would love a way for this platform to be opportunity to shift that and to just, highlight Grenadians, highlight people who've moved here, highlight the spots, and just, start telling the stories about this amazing island. And for those of you, the few of you who find it useful to hear my perspectives on what life here is like, don't worry, here comes a car. Don't worry, I will still keep up with that content. Probably one of the things that I'm kind of looking forward to sharing with you in the coming days and weeks and months, hi there, is what does it look like to set up a business in Grenada. A friend and I are working on a super exciting project that I will probably document. So as I'm always saying, Grenada, or the Caribbean in general, probably isn't the place to come and try and find a job. But if you want to start a business, create opportunities for others, and hopefully earn well, I think it can be quite an exciting place to be. And Grenada, I think, has a lot of opportunities, and I'm not the only one. Loads of people think that too. To kind of document the process of setting up this business and showing the trials and tribulations from everything to registering it, opening a bank account, NIS, all that fun stuff. I'll probably share that along the way. For those of you who aren't in Grenada and who aren't thinking of coming to Grenada and are actually interested in other Caribbean islands, I'm hoping to keep on doing those interviews, jumping on Zoom. If that's of interest, if there are other islands or other countries that I haven't covered, Suriname, Guyana, where's the other one? The Bahamas. I think those are the main ones that I haven't covered. If you are interested in content from those places, definitely let me know, because I think it would be a shame not to tick those off the list. But I feel like I'm slightly rambling now, so I should probably stop. But just really to sum up, this is me saying, let's tell the stories of Grenada. That's what I'd love to do. If that's of interest to you, if there are stories that you want to see me telling, if there are people that you think deserve a spotlight, if there are experiences here that you feel should be shared that don't necessarily get a lot of attention, drop me a line in the comments, or you can even email me, because I kind of think it's called the Access Collective, so it's not just about me, it's about like us collaborating. I think that's a cool opportunity. And what else? And for those of you who missed the Grenada Relocation workshop, which took place a couple of weeks ago, it was an awesome event. We were blessed with Aaron Sylvester of Tri-Island Chocolate, talking about the ins and outs of setting up a business here. Miranda Bell of Sapna Homes Grenada, talking about the real estate opportunities here, and also last minute addition of Royston Cumberbatch, the Vice President of the Grenada Industrial Development Corporation's Investment Division, who gave us some amazing gems on the ins and outs of setting up a business here, the concessions that are available, the incentives, etc. So if you wanted to take part in that and you missed it, don't worry. The recording is available. I'm actually about to pass out because I'm walking uphill. But if you want to check out the recording, that is still available. Check the link in the description and also down below. And one of the things that I'm actually thinking is that doing weekly sessions, weekly office hours, so that if you do have questions that you want to ask, you can just jump on and ask me directly, but also more importantly, connect with a community of people who are here or who are moving here. I think that support group, that sort of ability to have a network is something that a lot of the participants in the session a couple of weeks ago said that they really benefit from. So again, check out the link in the description and down below. The recording is available. Their weekly sessions will be starting on the 26th of April, which is a Tuesday. The recordings of those will also be available afterwards if you're not able to make them live. But yeah, basically an update saying thank you for the support, showing you another side of Grenada, saying I'm loving the comments, and let's together decide how we can use this platform to really showcase Grenada and let as many people as possible benefit from it. That's it. I'm about to pass out because I've been doing too much exercise. But wish you all well and make sure to come in the video. What's your name?
My name is Jamin. Kenny Carol, better known as Jamin.
Okay.
The monkey man in Granatang.
Okay, and I've missed all the monkeys, haven't I?
Huh?
I've missed all the monkeys.
You missed them, but the monkey right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll come back next time. Once I've figured out how to use my tripod,
Yeah.
I'll come back and there we go. Let's just do it that
Come back
way.
and do your thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull back on this side.
Okay.
So I'm there.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
There we go. Showcasing Grenada.